Hello investor, today I am going to talk about the land lease term inside the industrial park in Vietnam and what will happen after the lease term expires. You know that a lot of investor, not only investor when they come to Vietnam to open the factory, but also investor they have some years living in Vietnam. They often ask me that what will happen after the lease term expires. To back to the beginning, 90 or 95% of industrial park in Vietnam have the lease term of 50 years, except some of the industrial park they were established in the difficult socio-economic conditions. Industrial park that have specialized for certain industry like Phu My specialized industrial park in Ba Ria, Vung Tau in the south of Vietnam. They have 70 years of the lease term. Most of the industrial park in Vietnam have the lease term of 50 years. Number one, the lease term of industrial park in Vietnam around 50 years to 70 years, but the most frequent lease term is 50 years. Number second, what will happen after the 50 year or 70 year expire? Well, that's a difficult question. To tell you the truth that we don't have the exact answer until today, because among the earliest industrial park established in Vietnam, that is the Song Thong 1 Industrial Park and VSIP 1 Industrial Park, they have the lease term around 2045-46, something that means they have around 22 or 23 years more to go. A lot of factories still operate in very good condition until today. So no example for us to look for. So basically, based on the land law of Vietnam, after the lease term of the land, you have to return the land to the government. And if in that period, if you wish to continue to use the land for the factory, and the government allows that land to continue to be the industrial land, you will sign a new land lease contract with the government with the price at that time. However, those industrial park is currently located inside the residential area. So most of them will be in the master plan in the future, should be the residential area. So no more manufacturing activity allowed. So those land or those industrial park basically need to move, and the investor need to find another location to set up the factory. One of the most important thing here is some of the industrial park like Song Thong 1 Industrial Park or VSIP Industrial Park, despite of the lease term are short, less than 25 years, a lot of investors, I see the trend of a lot of investors, they wishing to buy those land or those factory in those areas, because those area is very near to the like Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi, and it have the very good infrastructure, transportation to the port or the airport very short, and it's very near a lot of residential area. All the condition already here, and ask them to move too far further or ask them to move to another location is very difficult for them. And allow investors, when they want to invest in some kind of industry like warehousing, logistics, some of the high-tech manufacturing, they also refer to the location which is near to the Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi city. So the land in those industrial parks less than 20 years, like VSIP 1 or Song Thong 1, Song Thong 2, the land lease, the land price is not cheap. Now more than $400 to $500 per square meter for the land. But you can save a lot of money for the transportation. Now here is some of the suggestions for you regarding the lease term of industrial park. Number one, if you already have the factories in industrial park and the lease term is short, you just wait and see the instruction of the local authority on the relocation. However, you should not worry too much. I know that most of those kind of industrial parks still have the 20 more years to go. You still have enough time to plan and make the profit from now and 20 years more. Number two, the area has the short lease term, mean that they have been established long time ago. That means they have the very good location. complete infrastructure and close to the center, such as the Sóng Thân 1 Industrial Park or VSIP 1 in Binh Duong, or the industrial park inside Ho Chi Minh City or inside the Hanoi. No land and factory in area. The price is not cheap, often more than $400 per square meter, which is suitable for the industry such as the high-tech manufacturing or the logistics warehousing, which have to pay a lot of cost for transportation. If your manufacturing aims to develop in the long term of more than 30 years to take advantages of the cheap labor cost or cheap land rent, you should look for the industrial park which have the land lease term more than 40 years. There are also a lot of industrial parks have a good location and the land rent in the range of $90 per square meter to $150 per square meter for the entire lease term. That means the land use in more than 30 or 35 years, which may be suitable for the option of many investors.